The craftsman's weapons were neither flashy nor attractive, but they never once failed in battle. This reliability afforded him a never-ending stream of loyal clients. Yet something nagged at the craftsman. Though he'd forged many a weapon, he'd only tested them on pigs and cows. He wondered what it might feel like to use them on another human being. The craftsman took a sword to a battlefield and slashed at corpses. Disappointed at how easily the sword slid through them, it wasn't satisfying at all. He wanted to really feel like he was ripping through flesh. The craftsman modified the sword in search of that feeling, not thinking at all of the pain it would cause, until one night a bandit broke into his home, snatched the weapon up, and showed him exactly how effective it was. The unadorned lance pierced her foes with machine-like accuracy. The grind of metal on bone, in tandem with pain screams of her victims, created sweet music in the mercenary girl's ears. Day after day, she returned to the battlefield to compose more music. Here, a giant of a man, fat rippling from his sides. There, a slimmer gentleman whose bones would surely produce a sweeter sound. Ah, who to stab first? The girl fought for an age, stabbing uncountable foes in an effort to find the ideal scream, that sonorous, bone-grinding sound. Yet, perfection eluded her, no matter how hard she tried. Would she ever find what she sought? Suddenly, she turned to a fine-looking hunk of meat at her side. Stabbing it produced a scream so pure, she couldn't help but smile. She continued to smile as she stabbed, no longer able to recall that the hunk was her own child. The great sword was known for the intense pain it inflicted upon its victims. This is what drove the man to carry it despite its weight, for he knew it would make others fear him, and thus could he avoid needless conflict. The man's reputation spread through the village despite never having drawn the blade. "Don't make him use that horrid weapon," the villagers whispered. The man smiled at this, for he knew that fear was the best path to peace. Soon the man had craftsmen forge a host of similar weapons. He gave them to all other villagers in hope it would force people to solve conflicts with words instead of violence, and his plan worked for a while. Keeping all sides in check is simple when no one uses their power. But once that seal is broken, the end is nigh. Thus did the peaceful village transform itself into a living hell over the space of a single night. The man wailed an inhuman scream as he brought his fist down on his opponent's skull. He brought it down again and again and again until the victim was nothing more than a splatter of blood and bits. The man had a beautiful wife that drove everyone wild with jealousy. They lived a simple, happy life. Yet the man always strove to keep his wife safe above all else. One night the man came home to find a stranger in his bed. His wife told him that he had forced himself on her, at which point the husband flew into a rage and vowed to exact revenge. The man bought a weapon from a craftsman famed for forging instruments of pain. Then he used it to punish his wife, for he could not abide that she failed to protect her virtue. His revenge was complete.